Okay, well, hey, good morning, everybody. It's great to see all your smiling faces and be with you this morning. This is always so much fun to be with everybody. And today we're just going to leave all the videos up so we can all see each other and interact with each other as we go through this morning. You know, one of the things I always enjoy about uh, either doing conference calls or Zoom meetings is the stories. And what I'm going to do, we're going to start out. We got Don Van Amberg and Tom Ty, and I'm going to have them both share their health and business stories, short version. And we're going to do our best to keep the call as concise as we can today. And then I'm going to share a little bit, and I'm going to have Tom and Don come back and share a little bit also. But let's go ahead and just jump right into the stories. And Tom, if you would come on, share the health the health portion of your relive journey to this point.
Sure, Jim. For those who don't know me, I'm Tom Ty here in Dayton, Ohio, and my health I thought was pretty good until I introduced to Relive and I started taking the products. And I got them actually from my wife first, but she wouldn't try them until I tried. And
Tom, you're muted. There you are. No, not yet.
Hey, Tom, you're muted. Tom, you're muted. No, try it.
can you hear me now?
Now we can. Go ahead and start over. Thanks.
Yes.
I have no idea what's going on there. Anyway, so again, my name is Tom Ty from Dayton, Ohio, and health-wise, I thought I was fine. I thought I was healthy. My wife had some issues going on, and a colleague at work shared Relive with me. He was a chemist, and I was impressed with the products, the patent on it, the no warning label on it. So I brought it home for her to take, obviously, like any good husband would. And she refused to take it unless I tried it first. So I began using the products, and I didn't think I would see anything. But in about 5 or 6 weeks, I realized I had better sleep habits. Rather than going to bed and tossing and turning, I was going out just within seconds. And I was waking up in the morning before my alarm clock would go off. I still do that to this day, and really amazed that it's happening. As time went on, though, I noticed some other things. One was I wasn't drinking coffee all afternoon to stay awake at work. I'm an engineer, and so a lot of my work is report writing or reading and wind tunnel work. And if I was moving around, that was fine. But if I was sitting at the desk reading and writing, sometimes you get drowsy. And I noticed that went away. And a lot of the guys in my office began asking me what I was doing because they noticed that. And that's when I woke up to something's going on here. I went from a multi-cup coffee habit a day just to 2 or 3 cups a day because I like drinking it. But then about 8 months rather, 7, 8 months, I realized that I wasn't having issues with allergies, something I started having when I moved to Southern Ohio for my job so many years ago. And I just thought that was living in Southern Ohio. I haven't had an allergy shot now in 32 years since taking Relive. Now, Relive doesn't cure me of anything, but when your body is chemically balanced, your body can handle what's being thrown at it much better than it can if it does not. So I just love these products and what they've done for me and my family.
Awesome, Tom. Thank you. And Tom, stay with us, and we'll be right back with you for you to share your business portion of your journey. And Don, if you would come on and share what the products have done for you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dawn Van Amberg, and I'm from Michigan. And I got started on these products 27 years ago. At the time, I had 2 small babies. I was in back pain. I had back pain 24/7. It was unbearable. I could hardly function. Got started on the basic nutrition, and within a couple of weeks, my back pain had dissipated so greatly. My husband noticed it before I did. The beautiful thing about these products is that I can function normally. I can go out and work in my yard, which is what I'm going to be doing today. I don't have to worry about that nagging back pain. I lift rocks, I move topsoil, I do all of these things. We are so active in our lives. And if it wasn't for these products, I wouldn't be able to be as active as I am today. Menopause is a non-issue. I'll be 64 in October. allergies are an issue like Tom. And so that's what the products have done for us, is they've just given us a quality of life. We have the freedom to do the things we love to do without being plagued. You know, what are we preventing down the road? You know, most people my age cannot do the things that we're doing today. I look at my classmates. We just did a 45th class reunion. Half of them, I'm looking at them going, they can hardly move. They're so overweight, or, you know, they got knee issues and back pain and things like that. I'm so grateful to these products. And I keep telling people, look my age, act my age, or feel my age. Don't plan on doing any of them.
Awesome. Thank you, Dawn. And let's just jump right back to Tom. And Tom, share with us what's happened with you with the opportunity.
Sure. I was actually looking for an opportunity to bring some extra income into our household. We wanted my wife to be a step away from her work as a physical therapist to raise our 4 kids while they were little. We also wanted to put our kids into Christian school, starting at kindergarten through 12th grade, and long term help them should they choose a college experience. And that's where our heads were at. And so I was investigating different things. When we realized we get results on these products, I talked more about the business to that person that shared Relive with me. Wound up going to a conference actually to learn how that whole process worked and find out how simple it was very intrigued that you could build a residual income, something I can't do with engineering. And I realized it's something I could do. So we came back and started sharing the story of Relive with people, and decided to go after it. I was working full time, so I could only do it part time. So about 15 hours a week is what we was putting into our business. And in that first year, made $56,000 with Relive, which to us was a tremendous blessing to our household. Allowed us to remain letting Linda be at stay-home mom, and it continued to grow. It increased each year after that. In a few short years, it actually was rivaling what I was making as an engineer. So I had some choices to make. An opportunity came up where I could take an early retirement from the Air Force. So I did that. I was not in the Air Force. I was working as a civilian for the Air Force. But I exercised that option, and that was when my boys were in high school, playing high school sports like baseball, golf, basketball, and the head coach of the baseball program. They had lost a faculty member who was the assistant coach for that program and assistant coach in the golf program. He knew me from Little League days. I had been a Little League coach for 11 years, having 3 boys. And he approached me if I had time to come in and help them out while they were looking for another faculty. And I jumped at that opportunity. So for that 1 year there, I was actually in the varsity squad as the assistant baseball coach and assistant golf coach, 2 sports I enjoy playing, and had a ball with that. And I was only able to do that because of the free time I had because of building a Relive business. My wife and I enjoy the traveling. We're ambassadors with the company. We enjoy the trips to teaching, and it's just been tremendous to be able to do life on our terms, decide when we're going to go someplace and when we're not. And today I am fully retired from that engineering job, but I am a consultant back at the Air Force, back at the laboratory, and I enjoy mentoring young engineers and helping them on that path. But it's fully a part-time position, and I enjoy that as well. So we just can't wait for the next chapter.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations, Tom. And Dawn, let's just jump up to you. Share what's happened with you with the opportunity. And by the way, you have earned the Maui trip. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to Maui, and what an exciting year, actually. So when I first got started with Relive, like I said, I had 2 small babies. I had just left corporate America, and I wanted to be that mom. And this business opportunity actually gave me the time freedom, the family freedom, the financial freedom to be a stay-at-home mom, raise my kids, be there for their sporting events or school events and things like this that most parents don't get. But, you know, we jumped in at that top profit level and just started sharing this with friends and family. And my business exploded because it was all about helping people get what they want out of life. You know, we've earned thousands and thousands in bonuses. We've earned trips around the world. This is actually the 3rd time I've earned the Maui trip. We are going in about a little over 2 months. I'll tell you what, it's such a fun business. And the other thing that just recently happened, it actually happened just last month while we were in Ohio, that I earned a Sandy Montgomery Award, and that's just by helping people on auto ships and helping them with repeat business, which is really important. And that's something that I've strived to do for a long time because I love Sandy Montgomery. I love the fact that this foundation, the Montgomery Award helps the foundation, the World of Clover's Foundation, and feeding children. So they go hand in hand, just like with our business, the time freedom, the family freedom, the financial freedom, all these things are tied into all we do, Jim, is we help people with their health and their finances. And we allow them to make the decisions they want, but give them a lifestyle, the choice at a lifestyle that they desire to choose. And we're excited. We love what we do. My husband was looking at retirement here soon. He'll have 35 years in, but I'm not retiring. I don't want to retire from Relive. I love it. Relive is part of my life. It's part of who I am. And I can do this business wherever I go. As long as I have my phone, I have my passion, I have my vocal cords, I can take my business anywhere around the world, traveling or not traveling. So we'll never stop building.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Don and Tom, thank you both for sharing, and congratulations to both of you for your success with the products and your success with the opportunity. And, guys, I think it's very important that we all remember, what is it that creates this success in Relive? To me, number one is that the products work, because here's what I know is that if the products hadn't helped each one of us, we wouldn't be on this call today. But because those products work and we continue to use them and we continue to, create longevity in our lives and health and prosperity, it just, that's why we're here today. That's the core of our foundation at Relive. And the opportunity is simply based by this. We get results on these products, and then some of us just say, hey, you know what? I've got to tell other people. And it's just natural, and it becomes easy to do that. And I hate to use the word easy, because some people can make it think like it's real, that it's really, really easy, but it's, the word easy is always surrounded with challenges and opportunity and the willingness to step forward, step out of our comfort zone. But, guys, the topic today is this: building Relive your way. And I really hope you take that to heart. Building Relive your way. I've been a part of Relive now for 22 years. And here's the thing that I have watched happen for 22 years. This is not something new. It has happened since day one. Is that, and you have to understand, I come from a business background, owning my own business, having employees, building networks of people, teaching people how to be successful. And so I had a lot of leadership education before I ever became a part of Relive. And one of the things that I've always done is watched what successful people do, and also watched what unsuccessful people do. And one of the big challenge, not one of the big challenge, but the big challenge I have witnessed in Relive for 22 years is that someone, a distributor, gets started, sees some success, sees something that another person is doing, and then stops doing what was creating their own personal success to jump in a ship or to jump into a canoe with no oars, no paddles. And they find themselves lost and confused. And see, in the real business world, and understand the word real business world, it's the word I've learned to use for 40 some years is adapt. Adapt, not change, but adapt. And see, every method of building your Relive business has two common themes. Every method that you use to build Relive, two common themes. Number one, keep the existing customers, keep the existing distributors. Number two is attract new customers and new distributors. That's the two common themes. And see, all successful businesses continue to grow by this single statement. I learned this in my early 20s. First time I heard it, I've never forgotten it. In business, it's about keeping the old and getting the new. It's that simple. Keep the old, get the new. And if you can use that as a foundation, it just helps your perspective and your outlook. It keeps you on a growth pattern. Keep the old, because the old customers and the old distributors, and we should say existing, maybe replace the word old, because I don't, somebody says, well, it's a dinosaur way. And I go, God, I may be 68, but I guarantee you, I am not a dinosaur. And so keep the existing and add the new. And see, as we think about that, let's think of a company just off the, I'm going to name a company. And when I say it, everybody's going to go, oh, the name of the company that really does this as well as any company in the United States is a company by the name of Apple. Apple. And what do? They sell iPads, which I'm looking at right now. And many of you may be on an Apple computer or an iPad, or maybe you're on this device called an iPhone. And what has Apple mastered? They have an unwavering following of people because they keep the old and get the new. And how do they keep the old? They innovate. I mean, once a month, we get this little thing on this little red light shows up on settings on our phone. It says, you need to do an update. They're doing a security update, or they're doing this update to make our phones work faster, do something to make it better. They're continually following up with us. They're continually dripping information about Apple's innovation on us. I mean, it's no secret. It's no secret why they're so popular and why there's more iPhones than there is anything else in the world. They keep the old and they get the new. And guys, as we look at Relive, let's talk about the methods of building a Relive business. It could be face-to-face. It could be that you see someone at an event of some sort. It could be a social event. It could be a church event. It could be an event that you're going to go buy groceries, and you see someone and you simply speak with them. You could be, you pick up your phone and you call somebody. It could be that you invite someone to a Relive event. It could be you do a social media post. It could be you invite and take someone to a Zoom event. I heard people say today that, I've invited a friend to come on this Zoom today. You could do a 3-way call with someone that wants to hear a story. You could have an in-home meeting. And see, then the question becomes, and this is a confusing question, is that, and I'm just going to hold this up. People say, okay, but Jim, which of these do I use? Which of these do I do? You know what I would do? I would use all of them. I'd use all of them. And I would never let myself or someone else convince me that there's only one way to do Relive, because there is no single way. And see, that's why I go back to the title of the topic today, Building Relive Your Way. See, what have we all done with Relive? We have, at some form and at some time in our Relive careers, we've tried to make people think that you have to start on this group of products, or you have to do Relive this way, or it ain't going to work for you. See, guys, here's the one thing I know for certain. Every one of us that are on this call today, all 19 of us, are different. We are different. And see, what is your and my job to do? Your and my job of helping someone to get started with Relive is to ask questions and listen, play detective. Find out what's going on in these people's lives. Maybe they're looking for products for health reasons. Maybe they're looking for products for longevity. And see, when we think of the word longevity, what people always think of is that, oh, I just want to live to be 140. Well, longevity is really defined this way: living a quality of life that exceeds the norm while you're living. You know, I just had shoulder surgery and 17 weeks ago, tore it up horrifically. It's the worst thing in the world I've ever recovered from. Hardest thing in the world I've ever recovered from. And my therapist said at 4 weeks, he said, Jim, you're so far ahead. If Medicare was here, they'd kick you out. At 6 weeks, he said, Jim, I'm doing the reports and Medicare is saying he's got to be done. And I said, no, here's what Medicare doesn't understand, is that when I get to be 90, and I'm 68, I'll be 68 this month. But when I get to be 90, 95, I want to be in as good a health as I am right now. So whatever we need to do now, if it's another 4 to 6 weeks of therapy to ensure that in another 20, 30 years, I'm as flexible and strong as I am right now, that's what we're going to do. And see, it's just, we've all have to figure out what works for us. And see, when I say which one of these would I use and have I used, I really mean it. All of them. All of them. And can I tell you what has never in the history of network marketing, there's 2 of these that have never changed. Since 1950, when Amway was developed, going forward, there's 2 things, two of these forms that have never wavered. Never. All these other things have come and gone. In-home presentations, face-to-face, have never, ever, ever changed in the 70-some years of network marketing. Now, but see, the key is to understand that as you build your business and as you bring people into the business, my job is to help that person do what works for them. Because see, I know that at some point in time, I am going to come across somebody who loves social media. And you know what I will be? I will be their biggest cheerleader. And as I sponsor people that love face-to-face, I'll be their biggest cheerleader. But my job as a leader is to help them become the best they can be at what they understand and want to do. Because see, let's admit it. Some like face-to-face. I'm one of them. Some hate face-to-face. They don't want to look at anybody's eyes. They don't want to hear anybody's voice, but maybe over a Zoom or over a social media deal. And see, some like social media, some hate social media. Some could never even see themselves doing a social media post. They just, I mean, it's some, I had people call me and say, Jim, can't do Relive anymore. I say, why? Well, I can't do social media. And I said, who says you have to do social media? See, guys, just understand, you need to do what works for you. And to keep doing what works for you. Because the key word is do what works for you. And as you see other things that might, hear the word, might work for you, then adapt them into what you're doing by trying them. Try them. If they work for you, do them. If they don't work for you, discard them like a dirty rag. Throw them in the trash. So what I like to do is, Tom, are you still with us? He may have, okay, Tom, if you're with us, why don't you come on and just share, just share with us 2 or 3 of the ways that you use to build your business.
One of the ways that Jim, I did start out was I realized I wanted to build a business, not just have I'm going to say sick folks. I don't mean that badly or anything, but I wanted to have a team to build a business with. And so what I did was identify some of the folks I like to hang out with. Some of them were guys I used to coach Little League baseball with. Some were coworkers. A couple were neighbors. A couple guys from my Bible study. And I invited them and their wives over to my house and sat down and just literally laid out on a single side of a piece of typing paper, well, the printer paper today, how the business works, and then showed them Mechanic Classic and Energize that I was taking as what would drive this business, and asked them if they were interested in walking on this journey. I told them my vision. I saw myself making $10,000 a month soon, and if they'd like to go along in that, we can do that together. And then I invited them to come back next week to look at it again if they wanted to see it again, or bring a friend if they want to have someone look over their shoulder. I did that for several weeks in a row, and that started our business, kept our business off.
Awesome. Awesome, Tom. And Don, let's go to you. What do you do? What do you do today to build your business, Don?
One thing that I'm doing really consistently is I'm plugging into what, the Scoop is listing, which is Kari Montgomery engagement on Monday nights, and getting tons of information on that. That's really helped me in the auto ship, learning how to help people get on auto ship, that repeat business. I do a lot of customers, Wednesdays, of course, we've got Peter, and we've got, Wednesday coffee chat that Positively Charged is doing. I use a lot of different parts of the system, what we call the system in these days. But the biggest thing I do is talk to people. I love just engaging with people. I just came back from family reunion this weekend, handed out the Energize Go samples to several people, ended up with customers because of that. This is what I'm doing, is I do a lot of sampling. Went somewhere Thursday night, my husband's event, ended up talking to a young man there whose fiance is into healthy living. And so we exchanged information. I think if we just get out there, get out of the box, not worry what people are going to say to us, yes, no, or maybe, and just present our heart and our passion about what Relive is doing and what it can do for them, people jump on board. My neighbor next door gave her a couple samples, takes care of her older mother. And within 15 minutes, she's going, give me 3 boxes of that stuff. Yeah, this is just what I'm doing. A lot of sampling, a lot of talking to new people. I've done what Tom has done. I used to do all the Tuesdays, all the Saturdays, all the conference calls. And I just found that I was tying up my time with things that were not giving me a return on my investment time. So I keep it very, very simple right now.
Awesome. And see which way is right and which way is wrong. They're both right. they work for each individual. And, you know, Don, you used a word early in the conversation that you and I were having earlier before this started. Share with, as I shared with you that the title today was Building Relive Your Way, and why I wanted to talk about this. Share with everybody the word you used and why.
You know, I use the word epidemic because what's happening is you explained it really well already, is that, you know, in the early years when we would have all these meetings, we'd have ambassadors that would come into town. They would share what they were doing. And then people left that meeting and said, oh, I have to do what they're doing. And they would literally stop building the business that they were doing. And so we do have an epidemic in Relive right now because people are stuck. They don't know what to do. They think, oh, so the top 5 people that earned Hawaii all do their businesses different. The person that was number 1, he goes door to door. He's really in the Amish community. The second one has a YouTube channel. The third person, he pays for advertising. Me, I just talk to everybody. And then the next one, which is, I think the Flagos, they're the same way. We just get out there and we keep just talking to people like we've always talked. But when you keep trying to do what everybody else is doing and you don't put your own personality into it, you get stuck. You stop and go, now I don't know what to do. Well, guess what? When you started this, you knew what to do. You knew if I just talked to 5 new people a day and, you know, get customers. You know, in the early days, Jim, we would push master affiliate on everybody. And then, you know, what is the statistics? Like 90% of those people are false start. They don't do anything else. They don't order another can. I'm taking people brand new today, getting them started on the products, helping them with auto ship, helping them fall in love with these products, getting great help. And then they're going, hey, I just shared this with my friend. I just shared this with my neighbor. And I said, you know, you might want to look at the business. You know, do I tell them there's a business up front? Absolutely. And so it's really about being being authentic of who you are and what drives you to share Relive. For me, I love getting customers. I love seeing the smile on their faces when they get a quality of life back to them. They have more energy. They're not in pain. You know, they have the energy that they've been lacking. That is what drives me in my business right now. It's just helping them get what they want, but quit trying to do what everybody else is doing. Because when you take, what's the best analogy? Let's say you got a pool table and you got 10 different color of balls on that pool table, and you're just, you know, you just think that you have to hit all 10 of them, but really you were only supposed to go after one color. What does that do to you? You know what I mean? And you said it best. You said, I do all of it. I do everything. I do social media. When Go came out, I did videos. I did social media. I got customers. I do face-to-face. I meet with people. I do Zooms. I do phone calls. I do it all. And, you know, but I do me. I don't try to do Kathy Casey. I don't try to do Jim Schaben. I don't try to do, you know, Mindy Jones. I don't try to do anybody else, but I do Dawn. And when you can find that in you and you keep it so stinking simple that people go, I can do that, then you figured it out.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Awesome. Great words. And guys, I'm going to close with this. Go build Relive your way to your success, to your happiness and your enjoyment. And I just pray that there's a word, maybe there was a sentence, a paragraph, but there was something in here today that inspires you to move forward for you. God bless y'all. And Don, thank you for being the wingman and making sure this technology works for us all today. Thank y'all. Have a great Relive week, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.